Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to take, I got a bunch of these old drills, and the batteries that went on these old drills was a nickel-cadmium, NiCad. They're bad about building up memories and they're bad about going bad. Nowadays we have lithium-ion style of batteries, and these are some of my dad's old tools, and he's been passed for quite a while, and I want to still use these. So what I'm going to do is, like, I already have this one fixed up, and I kind of did this one as an experiment, and I'm going to do this one next. This is 12 volt right there, and you can see that one's 12 volt. The reason is, no, don't mess with that. The reason is I'm getting a Harbor Freight 90 degree wrench that's 12 volt powered, and I'm going to use Harbor Freight batteries. This is a Harbor Freight adapter to go with these tools so I can reuse them for the long run. And kind of give you an idea, because I experimented on this one to get it going. On the bottom I took the guts out. There was a plate right there, and I took that out, and the tabs, there was these metal tabs that came out, and one was black and one was red, and that's the colors I needed to know. And I soldered it onto them two pieces and stuffed it back down inside this handle. Now this is a piece of cedar. It's long lasting, but you have to drill a pilot hole when you run a screw into it, or it'll crack and break. And another thing I did is I used silicone in that area because the wires had to come down to like that. I really didn't have a way to hide them good. And then I used the 3 screws in here to hold it. So this one's going to be good for a long term. And I've always needed some extra drills to go with my Porter cable units. Now I found this one recently, 12 volt also. The top up here, the collet was kind of stuck, so I put it in my vise, and I put some 90 weight oil in there and just let it soak in, and you can see right now it's all broke loose and doing good. What I got to do is somehow, find that screw right there to be able to pull them 2 tabs out and be able to get this to spread apart. I got to have them tabs come out. A couple things I'm looking at doing is taking this edge down so I can mount that board flat on here. But I have to get to these, number one, to get the corrosion off, and number two, to get it to where I'm going to trim these off, wrap them around and solder them on, then tape them up. That way I get a really good contact. But with that board on there, I'm going to stabilize it so I can put that piece on there. So actually I should probably do it like that, where the battery faces in backwards, so it'd probably be like this. But I wanted to kind of show you this process, because you can take these tools, will last a good long time. This one's got variable torque on it, so does this one, which means if you got a lightweight screw that you don't want broken, you can lessen that up and it won't be so hard on it and break it. But I need extra screwdrivers. I always need extra tools. But anyhow, these were my dad's, and I really would like to get them back going again, like I did my dad's old drill bits right there, which really comes in handy. And I redone it with a solid bar and put a late model drill in there, and did all these things to make it work. And it's my dad's old one, so I really like having it around. But I want to get these back going. I haven't got the battery or the charger system yet. I will soon, but let me do some steps and show you guys what I'm doing on this. Okay, I've cut all this stuff off and I took a sander to it, sanded it up. I wanted to get all these sharp edges off. All I did was take a Sawzall and just go across it like that, and then take that sander, just a jitterbug sander. Now I've taken these 3 bolts out and got it where it can split apart. And as you see on most of these, all the ones that I've ever seen, you see there's a red, and then that one on that other side is black. So that's negative where my finger is, and that's positive on this side. Now I got to get them out of that little holder. I'm going to clean that off, and I'll trim these down and wrap them around these metal pieces and solder it on so it'll have a good strong hold. I'm going to try to measure out a piece of wood for this and try to figure out how I want to do this. I want to make it to where the battery comes in backwards like it does on these and this one. So I need to be consistent with that. And I have to figure out something and a way to get these lines to go down into that hole. That's the adapter. As you can see, they're 3D printed. If I could have, I would have liked to have gone with the Porter Cable style batteries, because I have a lot of the Porter Cable tools. The problem is they don't make Porter Cable anymore. They still make the batteries, and nobody is making a 3D adapter like this, or I would stick with that. But because I'm getting the Harbor Freight tool that will be the same voltage as this, that's why I'm going with the Harbor Freight adapter, and the fact that there's a Harbor Freight in every town, so that makes it easy to get parts and stuff for. Let me see about getting a chunk of wood cut, and if I can get that apart and get that piece out and do some modifying. So off to the next video. Okay, I've cut a little piece of a little piece of cedar, and I've sanded it down to be with this nice relieved edge I got right here, and it's big enough to hold this piece like this, and that's going to be its job. It's not adding that much extra weight to it, which will throw the balance off, so it won't do that. But it's going to be like that. The battery will slide in here on this way. Now I'm going to have to figure out some sort of way to route these lines. Maybe cut a groove right here or something, and to where it can go down and into that tube like that. To wrap around like that or something and fit in there tight, because I don't want them exposed. In fact, I might do that first. Attach this onto here, make 2 channels right there to run that through to the bottom side. I think I'll do that first, so let me get started on that. Off to the next video. Okay, let me show you what I've done. I drilled pilot holes, which I take a small drill bit and I tap in, or drill it into these, and I run them screws through. I didn't have anything shorter. What I'm going to do is cut these off with a my bandsaw, and then I'm going to grind it down. But then I took my bandsaw and I cut these grooves into here. And let me show you. This will fold up like that and then fit down inside that. See how that's pretty flat? And that way it won't pinch or bind these wires up. But let me just show you real quick. I was over here at the bandsaw, and what I did to make them notches right there, I just run it in here a couple of times to make the notches, and then I held it up on its end like that, and I cut them notches in. So that idea worked out pretty good. This is mounted pretty solidly. Like I said, I'll chop them off, and I may have to glue these in. I have to do something to kind of keep them down. So let me get off to another video and do a little bit more work. Okay, now I've got some silicone in there. I'm trying to glue it down to make it flat, and I wrap some this blue tape around here to kind of squish it down, and I'm going to let it dry. And so I'm just going to set it up here, set this up here, tighten it down, and I'm going to call that good for today. But it'll be like this one, battery faces to the back. I may have to do some more silicone work on that. Thinking on putting some tabs on there to help hold that down, because I sure don't want that to get caught and ripped out. Anyhow, I'll come back and we'll finish this up. Okay. The little leads that I was telling you guys about, when normally, I've done a couple of these conversions, and normally you'll see black and then you'll see red. Like this one was that way. And so the lines that I got, I put red to red and black to black. Now the tab comes out, and it was on this piece up here and sticks out like that. So I just wrapped this around it and I soldered it up really good. That's why it looks huge. And I'll wrap that up with tape, and the same with that one. But it's important that you get red to red and black to black on that. And I'm going to tape them up, and that'll stuff down inside there. Inside here. I guess that's where the battery originally went. But you can see I smoothed all this out, and I sanded it down to make it nice and flat for this. And then I'll go through this side with some wood screws. But I won't use long ones, and I'll probably put about 2 per side on there. And you can see the screws that I have in this one, and they went through, but I ground them down to where they didn't show. I'll have to re-put that back in them trenches I made. But that's where I'm at right now. Let me see about finishing this and do a final video. Okay, I've finished it up. I pre-drill these holes, and I run them screws down. I kind of measured them out where they wouldn't go through. And it's all tight. I put these screws back in to tighten that handle back up. Made sure to keep my screws away from them power lines right there. And so I think this one turned out a little bit better than that other one. So this is how, you take these that don't have, this is a Craftsman, and it doesn't have, I haven't been able to find replacement batteries, so rather than mess with that, I'll get a modern battery. And I think that one turned out a little bit better than this one. I don't like them exposed wires like that. I got to figure out a way that they won't hang on stuff. Now remember, you want to point this to the back to have your battery clip on from the back side. That's what I did on that one. So this is a Harbor Freight adapter, the Bauer, blue one, the Bauer. I got a tool coming. Right now I can't find this style of clip or adapter to put porter cable use porter cable batteries with these old tools that I got. I can still get replacement batteries for these, and lithium ones tend to last a while. So, and I use drills a lot more than any other tool. So that's how you make these live longer and work better, especially with lithium, to get rid of your NiCad batteries and go with that. So I got me a couple more. I've got a bag of a bunch of old, what is this? Is that 12? No, that's 18 volt. This is some early Harbor Freight stuff. And I got a couple in that bag there too. Eventually I can go up to a 20 volt on that one, on these. You can see the clips down there. All I got to do is separate it the same way I did that Craftsman over there, and do the same thing with it. Smooth that bottom off, put a piece of board there about a 1/2 inch thick, and then you know, like I said, I got a bag full of them there that I've had for a bunch of years that I've used them. It was hard to work with them with that NiCad battery, but these lithium batteries are great. Anyhow, that's my video on how to get these things a better setup and a better battery, or a more modern battery that you can find and use. So my next step is to get the batteries in a charger. And anyhow, hope this helps you out. Y'all have a good one, and see you on my next video.